All right, and we're on. Welcome, Mr. Rancher.
Hey, Rich, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Well, it's things are really starting to heat up court-wise. So it's almost like the cops are remembering. Oh, that's right, we can arrest people now. Yep, you can, and they have been. Oh, Nelly, they've been arresting people.
Oh, were they not arresting people because of the virus?
Yep.
Were they standoffish? Really?
They have been really well.
Seems kind of the opposite now. Over here, they're like not arresting people.
Yep. Well, they started.
Man, people are getting away with murder here in Los Angeles, literally.
The unofficial goal of our state government, I'm convinced, is to put a shovel in the hands of every Latino and manacles on the wrist of every black person.
I don't think.
Anyway, I don't want to get political, but it's just like,
yeah.
Then again, and people get
I was just going to say the watch crime has gone up.
Watch crime
hugely over here in this Southern California area. Like on the news, you're constantly seeing people being pistol whipped for their luxury watch over and over again. You know, there was a guy who,
when a Rolex comes along, you must whip it.
Don't ask me what the guy was doing with two watches, but the guy got mugged in the street for two watches, totaling $650,000 combined. How would you have two watches worth that much on you? I have no idea. But, you would just be wearing one, right? I mean, Why does he have two? But, man, they showed that video, like four dudes jumped him and pistol whipped him. Yeah, it was like four guys. And he was up by the pay meter, just getting beat down. But out of that,
I'm sure
criminals can carry guns, and you can't carry a gun. I carry a taser in my car. One that shoots the wires.
Yes.
I mean, that's the next best thing to a firearm, I think, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
I think a lot of people don't think of that.
No, they don't.
But I did look up the laws, and there was nothing against carrying one of those on your person or in a vehicle, at least in California. So, and you know what? I have my wife has the police version of that, the one that's like $600, the one that the real police taser that shoots the big wires.
Yeah.
And I give that to her. That's next to her because I told her, you use that first, because I don't want to get shot in the middle of the night. So I have the gun next to my bedside. She's got the taser because I don't want to get accidentally shot. Is that smart?
Yeah. Well, actually, you're thinking about tasing in the first place. It's like, actually, yeah. Now, how long do the batteries last on that? Do you have to go and like charge it up or something?
Yeah, you got to test it out. You know what? Every couple of years, you need to kind of go through it. Yeah, you're right.
A couple of years is fine. Yeah. Just put it. Yeah.
I even change out. I have dates on the cartridges. I throw them out and replace them with new ones. Because, when you and those things are actually tied to your person. When you order those cartridges, they're filled with 1 million little tiny markers that have an ID number that's associated with your name, so that if you use it anywhere, the police are going to know who used it. Huh. It's regulated.
Honey, come here. Hey, Dad, will you order something for me online? Thanks.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, people don't think of that, man. You don't want to go up to the bathroom and then get accidentally shot by your wife, man. I'd rather get tased.
Yeah.
She's not as proficient in a firearm as me. I'm not going to trust her decisions on the trigger in the middle of the night, man.
Don't tase me, bae.
Oh man.
And
So
Flippin' Zipper is joining us.
hey, what's up, Flippin' Zippo? So
My
so
little
what's so has anybody else been talking about the watch prices lately, man? Or anybody mentioned the fact that I'm the only one that called the top in April?
um, few people are, yeah. It's in quote unquote market correction.
Yeah, yeah. You,
Mark Goldberg had me on like a couple days ago. Mom, I haven't talked to Mom in a while, so we did it
cool.
online, and he was talking about the fact, and I said it's market. It's not like it's coming down. It's not like you'll be able to walk into the 80 and get Rolexes.
No, not at all.
If they'll be if you do, I actually did them. That's like, oh, these are demonstration models.
You know what I do anticipate though? I kind of think that there's a possibility coming soon to an AD near you, you may be able to walk in and get the highest priced watches. There might be the first point where someone like me or Bud or one of us watch people gets a call for a $40,000 solid gold watch that
Yeah,
ain't quite going for as much in the money as it used to, and we might just say no. You
and
know,
there's Orange Hand.
that might be the first possibility of rejection that an AD might see. You know what I mean? I
Yes,
don't know when that will happen. That could happen when we see interest rates ratchet up to maybe when we see treasury yields go to 5%.
yeah.
we you know that we saw 10-year treasury yields go from 2 to 3% literally overnight.
If
2
that
to three
tells
percent.
yep, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, that tells you a lot. But
But some people, well, it depends. If watches,
good morning. Good
yeah,
morning.
the Bill
Man,
Sanders.
I kind of quit smoking, flipping Zippo. That's so you don't hear the Zippo in the background anymore, do you? Sorry, Answer.
Oh, that's all right. I was just going to say that Bill Sanders just had a video out, and it's called "21st Century Orphans." I'll get into that in a second, but I think right now the current thing we're just we're going back from "Oh my fucking god, are you fucking kidding me?" prices back to "Jesus Christ, can you believe they're asking this?" charges. Back to the prior uh, outrage against humanity prices.
Yeah, I was watching some of my older videos, and older, I'm not even meaning that much older. I'm like talking a month ago. And a month ago, a couple of months ago, the prices were a lot lower than what they are still even today.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
like, whoa, wait a minute. 3, 4 weeks ago, a Daytona was like 30 grand and it's 45 right now. It, it,
Yep.
it
Yep.
went down from just a week ago is all it really went down from, but it did go down. It's like April 1st was the peak and that's gone down for what, a couple of weeks. That's about it.
No. Okay. This is what's happening to watch prices. It's having a fuel prices. Sorry, ADs are playing just the tip with us.
They want to see what's going on. They're feeling us out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, they're feeling us out all right.
Oh, they're feeling us out. Yeah, and like when it's like all of a sudden eyes open and struggling or whatever, and then they're pulling it out just a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like
What? Just the
when
tip.
it's kind of like when Biden is not sure if she's a taker or not.
Why are we going political on this?
Is she a taker and is anybody looking? And are there any cameras? Those are the threes
All right,
I
wait,
got to look out
wait.
for.
Do you support Mr. Grab him by the pussy? Is that it? You want to get political here, Rich? Because if you want to get political,
I'm non-biased. I'm non-politically
all right.
biased.
Now, if
Yeah.
you're shitting on the guy just because he's president, okay, fine. That's a time-honored American
Man, you
tradition.
know what? I'll make a confession here. I've never told anybody uh except I told somebody the other day. I'm a Republican. I voted for Obama the second term.
You're a moderate.
So
You're kind of middle of the road.
I've
Most
always
Americans
voted for Republicans on everything, but I did vote for Obama second term.
weren't that.
And that's because he boomed the stock market, man. The first 4 years I said,
Yep.
fuck what everybody else says. He's going to continue to boom it for the next 4 years. So I went with it.
Well,
All for the money.
the trouble is that Americans will vote against their own self-interest.
Right. See, I voted for my self-interest. That's an example where I did.
Right.
Vote for my self-interest. Yeah.
And I hate to say this, but if you vote for a Republican, you're making less than $200,000 a year. You might as well be a chicken voting for Colonel Sanders.
A chicken voting for your own slaughter.
Exactly.
Got it.
No, I did not come with that myself, but that's a great quote.
That's a good one. Yeah. Orange Hand is saying watch prices went crazy after big institutional investment in pre-owned dealers. They fought amongst themselves for inventory.
This is not the time to buy unless you've got, unless you're getting a phone call from your AD and you're getting it for MSRP. This is not the time to buy. This is the time to be selling. If there's anything that you've fallen out of love with, get out. This is the time to leave it.
Yeah, I talked with Barry and Bud about that. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about it, and I just can't seem to part with anything that I've got. It's too difficult.
Well, okay then. That's either A, love your collection, or B, you might have some sort of psychological damage.
It's a combination of both.
And you're on YouTube, so it's probably the latter.
It's a combination of both, because if a prudent person if another financial advisor was to look at my portfolio, he'd be like, dude, how do you give advice when you don't take your own advice?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have an answer for him. I don't practice what I preach. Now, I told somebody yesterday, don't buy a McLaren, don't buy another watch, and don't buy a yacht. I said, you don't even have a home yet. Go buy a home, go start a retirement fund, go dedicate X amount for savings on a monthly basis, and then go buy one of those things you mentioned. And then after I got off the phone with him, I said, oh shit, man.
I am such a goddamn hypocrite.
Fuck it's one of those things.
Yeah. Now,
when's your new watch coming in? Your custom made watch that you're going to be able to show everybody.
It's like I said, hopefully, I mean, like I said, we're thinking by end of summer, worst case scenario. Just like anything else, Geneva's having problems with.
End of summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're thinking early summer, but then again, we've got a couple of component suppliers that they're waiting on their component suppliers.
Oh man, that's going to be exciting when you
I think it is. I think compared to anything else in the watch market.
Make sure you let me know when you're going to debut that on Bill's channel. You're probably going to be there, right? So let me know when, so I could watch it.
Yeah, well, I'll probably be in the background. It's
Mm-hmm. So you guys talk about that. That'll be fun.
Bill actually just had a great video. I actually love to. He basically brackets the weekends. He has a good video on Friday. He has a good video on Monday. His one today this morning was basically, it's just like, well, these are good. These are 21st century orphans.
21st century what?
Orphans. They've been discontinued, but they're still great watches, and that's the ones that he's looked at, even though they're no longer carried by their manufacturer.
Mm.
And however,
what were some of them?
Well, okay. Gondola by Patek Philippe. The Rolex.
Which one by Patek?
Gondolo.
Oh, okay.
Gondolo.
Yeah. That's funny. The very first watch you mentioned it's an old fogey watch, because I always said he likes those old fogey watches looking ones,
Well, and the Prince, also a square one.
Uh-huh. That's been discontinued for a while, but yeah, in general, discontinued.
That's what he's talking about. Yeah, it's been
Right.
discontinued for like 20 years.
Yeah, I
And
want the Prince. Which one?
and the Croix de Lille by Vacheron.
The square one also.
No, that's a rounded. I think it's more of a round. It's got a roundish face. It's got a round
But
face,
Cloud de
certainly.
Lille.
Yeah, it came out in 2016. It had the same movement as the current overseas.
Okay. I like the Prince one has always been on my list, so yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. I like that one, especially.
Yeah.
And however, that's the one where the separate, where that dial layout is known as a doctor's watch. Now, however, I said, "Oh, Bill, okay, Bill," and I basically was contacting him just now and said, "Okay, see you under C and Rays." I said, "Well, what about the Neptune? I don't know if it made it quite to 21st century, but at the waning days of the 20th century, it was, being produced."
That Neptune probably isn't worth what they're asking for it now at all. That would have had to be picked up, 3 years ago when we were looking at it.
Well, but compared to anything else, Patek Philippe.
No, I wouldn't touch that Neptune. I'd pick up a Calatrava. That's discontinued now too.
The 5196. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You think they'll make another version of that one without, because now it's got that hobnail bezel, and that seems like a very limited offering to just offer someone a hobnail bezel.
It's almost like Rolex's bark bezel.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like 60s and 70s. Who knows?
You're either gonna like it or not, huh?
Well, and I think Patek Philippe is smart enough to realize it's like right now they're probably like right now these fuckers will buy anything. So hey,
yeah,
and they're right.
I think we'll probably see the next time they put something out, maybe they'll have a smooth bezel version. But I wonder what will look different in it. But yeah, I think they've got to.
Yep.
Hell, if they don't, then the 5196 value will just keep going up. Because I mean, Calatrava wise, there really isn't that many choices if you think about it.
Well, in a way, that means Patek Philippe. Well, when they don't allow choices, that means a manufacturer, they think they know their line. They think they know. It's like,
they know their customer. Yeah, they know their customer.
On the other hand, if like Breitling and Tudor, especially if you look at their entire product catalogs, oh my God, there's so much Tudor dreck out there.
Yeah.
And it's almost like spaghetti approach. Like in 2019, I can't remember, like Breitling did like 76 new releases in a year. But most of it was like the same. Yeah.
I remember that. I think I remember that.
Like, that means we don't have a clue. We honestly don't know. We're just gonna put everything out there, see what sells. Spaghetti approach.
Yeah. How do they actually physically produce so many references? It's like, what kind of an assembly line does that look like? Like, you got to be your assembly person has to have a book of charts next to him, right? Assembly charts. Or well, I guess it's all computerized now. So, but I wonder how that. I'd love to see that. How they do that nowadays.
Exactly. So, if it's, but yeah, I still think, still think the Neptunes. I still like those watches. I have looked at those watches.
The Neptune.
Yeah. Well, the Neptune and all the ones that Pavel mentioned. But even Don Haynes is getting mad. He's like, even Parmigiani is now become unobtainium. That's how bad it's got. Of course, Parmigiani, they got a new CEO in. So instead of Parmigiani, it's PF for Parmigiani Fleurier. because they realized that, yeah, the guy might be a top-notch watchmaker, but holy crap, his name is Death on a Watch. It's just not a good name. Huh. And and I was also trying to multitask, not doing a very good job. I was also looking at Urban Jurgensen on Watchbox, and God, they got 4 examples. One of which is the jewels, which, or no, I'm sorry, they've got 2 examples. Jesus Christ.
You still have your Parmigianis?
Oh, I've only got one. Yeah, I've got my Calpa Hebdomadaire. And I need to actually get that out of the bank. I need to get that out of the bank and wear it, I think.
There's a nice looking one there, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Good color combination, good strap combination.
Good price, $8,000.
Yeah. European, God, yeah. I think if you'd look anywhere else, you'd probably find it cheaper than that.
Oh, you think so?
I know so. European watch, I'm not, I know you like them. They're not the first place I'd look. I'll put it that way. But actually, I'm going to look at Urban Jurgensen.
I like that white gold blueberry, the Rolex.
Yep. They've all gone nuts. Okay, that's the only 2 from, yeah. That is the only 2 on. Okay, let me look one other place.
So they're asking 40,000 for Daytonas over here.
Yep.
And I think the high they went to, they were asking 48.
Wow.
That was the most they had it listed for, the black. So now it went from 48 to 40 as far as they're listing it. What the sites that you look at, what do they have the Daytona listed for?
I don't really look at Daytonas. I don't think I've ever really looked at Daytonas, frankly. Wow. Okay, so God, no Urban Jurgensen, basically. Or they've got 10 on Chrono 24, and by far the most of them. They've got Watchbox has an older version, the Jewels, for $40,000. They've also got the Urban Jurgensen 1, their attempt at a sports watch, that was out for less than a year for $30,000. Holy crap. And everything else is price on request.
For the Urbans?
Yep. Wow.
They got a lot listed? How many did you say?
10.
10.
Not for the entire brand.
That's kind of a lot. So they're into that brand as far as getting them and listing them.
No, that's 10 listed on Chrono 24.
Oh, on Chrono 24.
Yeah. No, you're getting it. That's not diddly for Chrono.
Yeah, European Watch Company usually has one. They don't have any right now.
They don't have any right now? Well, yeah.
No. And they don't usually have they don't have their own brand listing for it either. They just put it under other fine brands. So it's not like a brand that they keep a lot of, I guess. See if you look at what they got. They've got one Roger Dubuis.
Oh, look at the Roger Dubuis.
One Miele. They see the other brands. They only have very few of them.
Look at the Roger. Well, let's see what they've got the Roger Dubuis. Ooh, yeah. If it was any other sympathy, it had any other dial, that would, But no,
That's kind of an old fogey watch style.
yeah, or no, that's not even. No. Yeah, they're not young and hip like the kids, like with the kids, like we are.
Um,
That is horrid. That's horrid. All right, let's look into Roger Dubois.
I don't know anybody who's into that brand. I don't know anybody who owns one of those watches, I guess.
Yeah, you do.
You've got one?
I've got an AC Diver.
Oh. I don't think you've ever shared that with us.
Have you ever asked me? No, you haven't.
I don't think I would have ever
You
thought.
self-centered, you self-centered bastard.
Oh, look at this thing. What the hell is that? That's pretty
Okay,
interesting.
I'm going to go back. FP Jorn? Yeah, it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just with the hands, just with those hands, you can tell it's FP Jorn. If you were to show me those hands on any watch, I would say the first thing, which is
That's probably a stamped dial, though, huh?
probably.
I think he takes shortcuts on the dial like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I think that was one of the complaints people had, like with some of the Sovereign watches, that like the Havana, like it's a stamped guilloche. I'm like, well, I don't care. I mean, I don't know. The critics.
Well, the trouble is if you listen to the critics, if you listen Homage by Retrograde Perpetual. Oh, God, I like that one. I do like that one. I was looking, but the Homage, the before Philippe Dufour did the Simplicity, he basically Bill thinks that he was kind of looking over Roger's shoulder when he came up with the design. He said a lot of times they will copy each other. But people quickly figured out the homage, some line from Roger Dubois, and they've gone stupid. Not $1 million stupid like the Sympathy.
Ugh. And I wonder what's up with my Snoopy. I've paid up that watch 1.5 years now. I wonder if I'm going to get that anytime soon.
Well, and already there's rumblings, and there might be a second. We're already kicking the can around on a second design.
For what? The Snoopy?
Yes. I am heavily involved with Omega. No, I'm
talking about your custom watch.
Yeah.
You got to get the first one before the second one.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm kind of saying.
Kind of like I got to get my Snoopy before anything else now. Man, there really must be supply chain issues. I mean, is that what's going on?
Yeah, it's going on everywhere. It's going on throughout the planet.
So what's going on specifically supply chain wise with the watch you're working with? Because that's the same thing going on with my Snoopy, for example. What are you waiting on? You said earlier I didn't.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, you didn't say exactly what you were waiting on?
Exactly.
So probably some kind of hands or part of a movement. Maybe that's what Omega's waiting on too. Something from China.
Well, or something, I don't know. Maybe they're getting the steel from China or the iron ore from China. Who knows?
I'm getting some answers from you. All right.
not online. Well, the Premier retrograde's going nuts.
Well, they've pulled watch inventory from the entire Russian country, so I wonder if that's going to increase our supply at all, and by how much. That'd be interesting to find out.
A little bit, yes.
It's got to be a considerable amount, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Jeez.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot. I mean, I'm sure a lot of Rolex goes to Russia. That's a big country.
Technically, it's one of the biggest countries.
Well, I mean, man, that's certainly something to think about.
Well, yeah, but I think there was already kind of I know the U.S. and a lot of our allies had some more or less had annual Ralph retrograde. Sorry.
I think they only just stopped the watch market from selling over there, because I saw a video just a week or two ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying, and it was a video specifically on YouTube, somebody reporting that watches were still being sold over there, that the Swiss did not stop selling to the Russians despite all of the embargoes and stuff.
Oh yeah, Swiss don't give a care. They don't give a care.
But then recently, since that report I saw 2 weeks ago, they put the hammer on it.
Yeah.
So I think that effect is yet to come still. I think that's yet to come. It hasn't started yet, that effect. So I'm wondering what kind of an effect that will have, like, say, 6 months from now on our inventory. I think it would have more of an effect on a bigger brand like Rolex. Like Rolex, there's going to be a much bigger supply of Rolex now that Russia's not in the picture. Like, is it going to matter for FP Journe watches? Not really, because they don't make that many anyway.
No.
But for someone as big as Omega or Rolex, it might matter a lot to us.
Let me ask you a quick question. Well, I actually think the coronavirus in China, their zero COVID policy, might be contributing to it as well.
Oh, yeah, right. Sure. That's a nasty policy they got in effect.
Well, it made sense when it first started. But with the current versions of it now, and the trouble is they've become so identified, the party leadership has become so identified with its COVID response that they can't afford to let off. They can't afford to change, because it would be seen as a mistake. Oh, Geyser's joined us as well.
What's up? So yeah, I mean, they
Orange Hand said iPod. Since I have an iPod, you think I would, yeah. Also, iPod, the guy who did the iPod eventually started working for Apple, and if you've ever looked at an iPod, you'll think, wow, it looks like the straps of an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, a lot of times these independent guys, though the really top tier ones, talent attracts talent, like attracts like. And a lot of times they will
learn off each other.
Yeah, they'll hang with it. A lot of times they'll hang with each other, or associate with each other.
Kind of like rock musicians.
Exactly. Except slightly less drugs and groupies. And also they're Swiss. The independent watchmakers, not the rock musicians.
I one of the things, like I told my kids, I told my oldest kid and my wife too, but I told them, I said, the two watches that will be in the collection that aren't here yet, the FP Jorns. I said, those are the two watches you don't ever sell. I said, those two watches will go to a Christie's auction house. Remember that I've told you that. Of every watch you have here, the FP Jorns will be sold at a Christie's auction house. Don't forget, I told you that. I mean, imagine 30 years from now what those Jorns will fetch. Probably.
Okay, now here's what your kid says: wah 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 watches, wah 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 sell, wah 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 wah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no shit. What, 30 years from now, what did Dad say about these Jorns? He said, "Get rid of this piece of shit as soon as you can."
Yeah. Oh. Well, it depends on what kind of dad you are too. Crotch the old man, yeah. I mean, I actually loved my father-in-law, but my grandkids, I mean, sorry, my kids do not have a good recollection of their grandfather. And they said, "Oh, he's always bitter. He was always angry." I said, "Yeah." Well, I said, "Yeah." Life finally broke him. I said, "When I knew him, he was. Oh my God, I love that guy."
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's just like one thing would happen. He just thought it's like he's already ancient. It's just like, well, he has a little job, and it's just like I'm gonna go to work, tunnel off and go to work. And the only person that knew how to work all the parts system at a dealership. I think the dealership closed, among other things. And it's just like he probably got fucked out of his retirement too if the dealership closed. But yeah. All right. Well, it's been about 30 minutes, so I need to jump in something. Fortunately,
All right.
unless I pick up something last minute, I have no court. Still in the process of having my mechanic rehabilitate my Celica convertible. So far, it's going at a very, very reasonable rate.
Well, a little side note on that Celica, just so you know, I heard a report just yesterday that used car prices, although we know they've gone through the roof, they said they're going through the roof again. So consider, if you want to get out of it, you're going to get top dollar, even more than what you thought last week. Keep an eye on that,
Yeah. Well, as long as it's running properly.
And
Yeah.
they're going up even more because apparently it's harder to get stuff and there's less used car inventory out there than there was before.
Wow.
So it's
Wow. Well, and yeah, if you've got kids that are fuck them, keep wrecking cars, it's like, hey kids. No,
man,
I
you
just
know
want
the
to
the,
because
the,
if you
the
wreck
guy
this,
Rancher, the guy that I sold my Porsche to,
yeah.
the check engine light came on 20 miles after he bought it. I mean, dude, I was driving it every day. I was putting miles on it every day.
Yeah.
Up until I
But
sold it. The chances of the engine going on 20 miles after I sold it, it's pretty shitty luck on his
that
part.
is
But you know
well,
what? He said he was going to change the catalytic converters anyway.
yeah.
So if I had fixed that, I would have wasted money because he was going to pull them out and trash them anyway, is what he told me.
No. Yep.
So I got lucky. Okay.
Well, and the other thing I've realized is just also the age of the car. Since 93, it's just like, oh, I can't use any. I don't think I should even using E10 gas on it if I'm thinking right. So
Yeah, 93, that's what I was thinking too with my car. 2000, it was a 2004.
yeah.
It's time to move on to the next car. It's getting too old, too many repairs. Let's move on. I think you might want to consider that unless you're
No,
doing
because
certain
let me
things.
put it this way: if you go into and people ask, well, do you have any recommendations about vintage? My response is yes, and this is going to sound completely off the rails, but hear me out. Find your watchmaker first before you even look at the watches.
Oh, yeah. Same thing with the car.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had a good Porsche guy. So it worked out for me for quite a while, yeah.
Yep. All righty
All
then.
right. All right. Nice talking to you.
You too. Be
Hey,
well.
we'll talk to you later. All right. Take care. Take it easy, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy your weekend. Is it weekend? All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
And guys, it's life is short. Life is uncertain. Try to spend some time with people you love, or if you can't do that, at least with your family.
All right. That's right. All right. Peace.
Peace.